Break down. To decompose or disintegrate into simpler components. Synonym for break down. Analyze, decompose, dissect, disintegrate, separate fragment. Microorganisms help break down organic matter in compost. Bacteria in the soil help break down organic matter into nutrients that plants can absorb. Over time, the plastic will break down into smaller pieces, posing a threat to marine life. Mix in. To combine different substances thoroughly. Synonym for mix in. Incorporate, blend, integrate, fuse, combine, mingle. After adding the flour, mix in the eggs and milk until the batter is smooth. The chef instructed us to mix in the spices gradually to ensure they are evenly distributed throughout the dish. Stir the ingredients well to ensure they mix in completely. Filter out. To separate impurities or solid particles from a liquid or gas. Synonym for filter out. Remove, extract, strain, purify, cleanse, sieve. The air purifier filters out pollutants and allergens, ensuring cleaner air in the room. The coffee filter effectively filters out the coffee grounds, leaving behind a smooth brew. The water treatment plant filters out contaminants before distribution. Blend in. To mix or combine substances to create a homogeneous mixture. Synonym for blend in. Mix together, merge, homogenize, unify, fuse, intermingle. Stir the ingredients thoroughly to blend in the spices and herbs for a flavorful sauce. The new paint color needs to blend in seamlessly with the existing wall paint to maintain a cohesive look. Blend in the spices to enhance the flavor of the dish. Boil down. To reduce a liquid by boiling, often to concentrate flavors or substances. Synonym for boil down. Reduce, concentrate, simmer, condense, simplify, narrow. The lengthy discussion was boiled down to a few key points for the presentation. Boil down the sauce until it reaches the desired thickness. To make the syrup, you need to boil down the sap collected from maple trees until it thickens. Evaporate off. To cause a liquid to turn into vapor and dissipate. Synonym for evaporate off. Vaporize, dissipate, disperse, vanish, sublimate, evanesce. Allow the solvent to evaporate off, leaving behind the solid compound. Leave the lid off the pot to allow excess moisture to evaporate off, resulting in a thicker sauce. After washing the wet clothes, hang them outside to let the water evaporate off in the sun. Dilute with. To reduce the concentration of a substance by adding another, typically a liquid. Synonym for dilute with. Thin with, water down, weaken with, add water to taper with, soften with. Dilute the concentrated orange juice with water according to the instructions on the package. The chemist diluted the strong acid with distilled water to create a safer solution for the experiment. Dilute the solution with water to achieve the desired strength. Absorb into. To take in and become part of a substance or material. Synonym for absorb into, assimilate into, soak into, imbibe into, engulf into, ingest into, incorporate into. The sponge will absorb the liquid into its pores. The dry soil quickly absorbs water into its porous surface after rainfall. Apply the lotion to your skin and massage gently to allow it to absorb into the skin. Separate out. To isolate or extract one component from a mixture. Synonym for separate out, extract, isolate, divide, filter, part, segregate. The centrifuge machine separates out the heavier particles from the liquid solution through centrifugal force. Use a strainer to separate out the noodles from the boiling water when they are cooked. Use a centrifuge to separate out the heavier particles from the liquid. Infuse with. To introduce or incorporate one substance into another. Synonym for infuse with, imbue with, inject with, instill with, introduce into, permeate with, suffuse with. Infuse the oil with herbs to enhance its flavor. The chef infuses the olive oil with garlic and herbs to enhance its flavor before drizzling it over the salad. Steep the tea bag in hot water to infuse it with the aromatic flavors of the spices and herbs. Precipitate out. To cause a solid substance to form and settle in a liquid solution. Synonym for precipitate out. Settle out, fall out, deposit, settle, form a precipitate, drop out. Adding a chemical reagent to the solution causes the metal ions to precipitate out as insoluble compounds. Cooling the solution may precipitate out crystals of the dissolved compound. As the temperature drops, salt crystals precipitate out of the saturated saltwater solution. React with. To undergo a chemical reaction with another substance. Synonym for react with, interact with, respond with, combine with, engage with, counteract with, clash with. When sodium metal is added to water, it reacts with the water to produce hydrogen gas and sodium hydroxide. Oxygen in the air reacts with the iron in the steel, causing it to rust over time. The acid will react with the metal to produce hydrogen gas. Neutralize with. To counteract the effects of one substance by adding another. Synonym for neutralize with. Counterbalance with, offset with, balance with, nullify with, compensate with, cancel out with. The acidity of the soil was neutralized with lime to improve its fertility for crop cultivation. Neutralize the acidic solution with a base to achieve a balanced pH. In chemistry, acids are often neutralized with bases to create neutral solutions. Permeate through. To pass or spread through a substance, often referring to liquids or gases. Synonym for permeate through, penetrate through, spread through, filter through, diffuse through, soak through, saturate through. Infiltration of groundwater contaminants can permeate through soil layers, affecting water quality. The aroma of freshly baked bread permeated through the entire house, making everyone hungry. The aroma of the spices permeated through the entire kitchen. Condense into. To change from a gaseous state to a liquid state. Synonym for. Condense into. Solidify into, coalesce into, compact into, compress into, concentrate into, condense to. When the steam cools down, it will condense into water droplets on the surface of the cold glass. The steam will condense into water droplets as it cools. The warm, moist air from the shower can condense into foggy condensation on bathroom mirrors. Sublimate into. To change directly from a solid to a gaseous state without passing through a liquid phase. Synonym for. Sublimate into. Transition into vapor, convert into gas, evaporate directly into, transform into gas, turn into vapor, change state into gas. In cold winter conditions, frost can sublimate into a vapor without melting into liquid water. The ice crystals in the frozen food began to sublimate into vapor when it was left out at room temperature for too long. During experiments in a vacuum chamber, certain solid substances were observed to sublimate into a gaseous state when exposed to heat. Precise measurement. To measure with great accuracy or exactness. Synonym for. Precise measurement. Accurate measurement, exact measurement, precise quantification, exact quantification, fine measurement, rigorous measurement. Precise measurement is crucial when dealing with chemical reactions. The scientists conducted precise measurements of the chemical concentrations in the solution using advanced analytical techniques. Engineering requires precise measurements to ensure the components fit together accurately. Decompose into. To break down into simpler substances through chemical processes. Synonym for. Decompose into. Break down into, dissolve into, fragment into, disintegrate into, divide into, separate into. Sunlight can cause certain pollutants to decompose into harmless compounds. When heated, some compounds decompose into their constituent elements. Organic matter in compost piles decomposes into simpler substances like humus, enriching the soil. Incorporate into. To include or absorb a substance into a larger entity. Synonym for. Incorporate into. Integrate into, assimilate into, blend into, merge into, fuse into, include into. The new software update will incorporate into the existing system seamlessly, enhancing its functionality. Incorporate the dye into the fabric to achieve the desired color. The chef decided to incorporate fresh herbs into the recipe for added flavor. Saturate with. To fill or impregnate a substance to its maximum capacity. Synonym for. Saturate with. Fill with, imbue with, drench with, soak with, flood with, suffuse with. After hours of soaking, the sponge became saturated with water and couldn't absorb any more. To maintain the moisture level of the plant soil, you should saturate it with water every few days, ensuring it doesn't dry out. To intensify the flavor of the dish, the chef suggested saturating the chicken with a blend of aromatic herbs and spices before grilling. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.